Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Business Spotlight. Joining me today is Ian Lintott, who is president of Total Sports Solutions. Thanks for joining us today, Ian.
Well, thank you for having me, Mario. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And let's talk about what you folks do and give me a little sort of overview of the company.
Well, I started the business in 2012, and the idea was to be a total sport solution for residential and small to medium-sized businesses. There's companies out there that provide, do a wonderful job with flooring, but they don't do the basketball goals. There's other companies that do basketball goals, but they don't do the flooring or they don't do the wall padding. So we want it to be a total source. So we can come in, we can completely renovate a space, put in new floors, wall padding, basketball goals, scoreboards, dividers, whatever is necessary. We take it all on.
So, and you also do pickleball courts now too, right?
Oh yes, yeah. So since 2012, we keep adding more services and product lines, and and pickleball is skyrocketing in popularity. We became the Canadian distributor for Pickleball United, which has a fantastic rollout pickleball surface. As well as some high quality pickleball nets and dividers and things. So we've taken on the pickleball with great enthusiasm to the point where we've actually branded TSS Pickleball to really go after and embrace the pickleball market.
Pretty crazy, eh? The trend these days for pickleball. Everybody tells me it's the in thing, and everybody tells me you should do it. And okay, I get it. Do you play pickleball?
I do, not as often as I would like. But the funny story is last year, or no, 2 years ago now, my sister-in-law invited us out, my wife and I, to go play pickleball because my sister-in-law loves to play pickleball. And I told my wife, I said, yeah, you know what? We do some pickleball stuff at my office and work, and so I should go out and play. And she reluctantly went out as a favor to me to go out and play. We went out and picked up a couple of rackets from a local retailer. We played, and immediately after that game, she said, "We're taking these racket backs and we're getting some good ones." She was sold right there.
So when it comes to I want to talk about both those courts, but let's start, while we're on pickleball. So what is required for a pickleball court? And is it a standard size when you're putting them in, or are they adjusted to whatever environment you're going to?
So what's required is a smooth, flat, hard surface. So typically concrete, or if it's outdoors, asphalt can also work well, but it has to be, a smooth, flat surface. If it has some imperfections, we can deal with that and make it right. A pickleball court standard dimensions of the lines is 20 feet wide, 44 feet long.
Okay.
But you also need some out of bounds to chase after the ball.
Yeah.
So our true court from Pickleball United comes standard size of 30 feet wide and 62 feet long, but it can be adjusted to fit the space. So you don't, you need some room outside of the 20 by 44 area, but if your space happens to only be 28 feet wide, we can adjust our court to fit that.
Okay. So tell me where, like, the types of places you've been installing pickleball courts.
So we've done some residential backyard applications.
Like for people's homes?
In homes, yeah.
Wow.
And then a popular one of the reasons a company would want to go with our true court surface as opposed to a painted on acrylic, which is a very good surface, is the mobility of them. So if you're opening up a pickleball facility and you've leased some space for 3 years and you can fit 4 pickleball courts in there, we can install our courts. If at the end of the 3 years your business is going well and you're expanding and you're going to move to a bigger location, you can take those courts with you. You haven't lost the investment in the courts themselves.
Okay.
And we've also worked with companies that are putting pickleball courts in malls.
Oh, wow.
So
Like inside the malls?
inside the mall in vacant stores. They're starting to put them in to use that space. And again, it'd be more of a temporary location
Yeah,
because if the mall gets a big store that wants that
yeah.
space, then they'll say, hey, move out. We got a store taking on. But so our surfaces can be rolled out and used for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12
Wow.
months, whatever it is, but then removed.
Have you done like with community centers and associations, that type of thing?
We are working with some of the pickleball associations where Pickleball Ontario we're supported by Pickleball Ontario, we're endorsed by Pickleball Ontario, and we are reaching out to their associations.
Oh, excellent. Have you done any rooftop patios?
Not for pickleball yet. My company, we also do basketball courts and other things, and we have done a few rooftop basketball courts. But I'm sure the day is going to come when we're going to do something on a roof for pickleball because it's just that popular.
So tell me the basketball side of things, like where do you go and install the courts?
So my company will service Canada wide. And so we have sent teams out to the East Coast and to the prairies to do installations. Basketball is where we actually got our start.
Yeah.
And we still every year we're doing 60 to 80 backyard basketball courts for people. Now, when I say a basketball court, it's not a full-size court. It's most often a half court, but enough for the family and the kids to have a good time back there.
Yeah.
But on the commercial side, we've also built out complete basketball facilities, as I mentioned in the beginning. So company says, hey, we've taken over this warehouse space. We want to put 3 full-size basketball courts in there and convert it to a basketball facility. So we've
Yeah.
put the hardwood flooring down, the wall padding, bleachers for spectators, dividers to separate the nets, the basketball goals, scoreboards, you name it. We are total sports solution. We'll look after it.
When you did the basketball stuff, a lot, do you do a lot of outdoor stuff like in parks? Because I know I see this quite often in Calgary. Different parks and green space have basketball courts, but again, like I say, not a full basketball court, but you do
Right.
the half court type thing. Do you do
Yeah.
that as well?
We don't do a lot of that type of work. We tend to work, that type of work is often tendered. And what we like to do is work with the owner of the business or the homeowner
Yeah.
and really address their needs and find out what it is they need and want, and then tailor what we're going to do specific to them.
Okay.
Whereas the parks, and they already have that all worked out, and they have the tenders, and it's all laid out precisely what they need, and they're just looking for the low price. And
Yeah. So what in terms of the surface, what's the surface made of for both basketball and pickleball?
well, there's a variety of surfaces available.
Okay.
So for pickleball, we have our True Court rollout pickleball surface, which is a vinyl backed surface with an acrylic coating on the top. The acrylic coating is the same as what you would find in a park on a tennis court or a pickleball court outside. But now it's just applied to a vinyl backing, which makes it movable.
Oh, okay.
We also offer the acrylic coating surface. So if somebody just says, I don't need to move it, I own the building, I'm not moving anywhere, I want a permanent pickleball surface, and they prefer the acrylic painted surface, we can do that.
Okay.
And then there's also for pickleball a surface that we would put down some rubber first, and then some polyurethane and urethane applications on top. And so that surface is the more expensive option, but it also gives a little more comfort to the players on their ankles, knees, back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And typically, how long does it take to install a court?
Again, it'll depend on the surface. The advantage of the True Court rollout surface is we can do it, a court in a day. We can do actually multiple courts in a day with the true court surface. With the acrylic surface, it will take usually about 6 visits to the property, because we have to let each layer dry and acclimatize and be prepared. So that process could take, from the time we start to the time we finish, depending whether it's indoors or outdoors, it could take a couple of weeks. And same with the surface with the rubber.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Ian, as you look at, especially these two sports, and basketball and pickleball, in general, why do you see this trend of, specifically more on I guess the personal side of things, of people wanting, a basketball court in their backyard or a pickleball court in their backyard?
Right. Well, I think truly basketball has been on the rise for a number of years in Canada, and it is a popular sport and continues to grow. The success of the Raptors a few years back really spurred things on. And then for a backyard court, one of the primary reasons that families are putting them in is it's getting harder to find places to go play. When you and I were young, we'd jump on our bikes and ride, wherever and go wherever and come back when the street lights came on. And that doesn't happen as much. There's more cars on the streets, parked on the driveway, parked on the street. So, playing in the driveway is a more difficult thing. So putting a court in the backyard, the parents know where the kids are, what they're doing, who they're playing with, and it's just convenient. So it becomes, we've done many projects where they had a swing set and the kids outgrew the swing set.
Oh yeah.
And so now they just have grass back there. But the 8 to 16-year-olds aren't going out to play on the grass.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so take out the grass, put in a small basketball court, and now parents have actually told us they're on their devices less and outside more.
Cool.
Which is perfect, because they would much rather be out there and doing the real thing than playing on their devices.
That's good to see. So I'm curious, basketball and pickleball. Have you any thoughts of doing anything else?
Well,
being Italian, how about bocce?
We've had some requests for it.
Oh,
my
wow.
wife is Italian, and we do play, but no, we haven't added that into the mix yet. But could be.
What about volleyball as well?
And we do have a volleyball specific flooring, but most of the time when we're doing a gymnasium, we incorporate volleyball lines onto the floor, and we do support volleyball with the equipment as well. There is a new sport, going to be new for North America, called padel, Padal, and it's played in a box in an area with rackets and a ball, and the ball's allowed to bounce off the wall.
Oh yeah.
So a bit like squash or racquetball combo, but it is the fastest growing sport in the world right now. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in North America. So there's a little bit of a competition between those two sports as to which is going to become more popular. But we are looking at that.
Excellent. All righty. And Ian, again, you're available to do stuff across the country?
Across the country. We do have partners that we work with, in various parts of the country. And if it's somewhere where we don't have a partner, we will send our team out there. Okay.
Well, okay. I'm going to measure my backyard and see if I can fit a nice bocce lane.
Great. Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much, Ian, for joining us.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. That was Ian Lintott, who is president of Total Sports Solutions. I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Business Spotlight. Thanks for joining us today.